we apply for a PR card?
A permanent resident or a PR card is an official proof of your status as a permanent resident in Canada. As part of the immigration process, new permanent residents will automatically receive a card by mail when they first arrive in Canada. For that, you need to gather your documents for the first, including your PR card if you are renewing it, valid passport or travel document, photos, translation of documents if they are not in English or French. And then you need to fill out the application form, that is, complete the application for a permanent resident card and document checklist form. And next, pay the fees. The fee for a PR card is 50 Canadian dollar and biometrics fee is 85 Canadian dollar per person or 170 Canadian dollar per family. Include the payment receipt with your application too. And for the last, send your application. Mail or send your application by courier.
What is a PR visa?
A permanent resident or PR is someone who has been given permanent resident status but is not a Canadian citizen. When foreign nationals first apply for and receive permanent residency, they are issued a PR visa in their passport. It provides approved individuals a one-time entry to Canada and has a validity period during which individuals are expected to travel to Canada and complete their landing formalities. Individuals who are in Canada temporarily, such as a student, foreign worker or visitor, are not considered permanent residents and would not be issued a PR visa. The most sought after way to settle as a PR in Canada is through immigration streams such as Express Entry and Provincial Nominee Program, that is the PNP. Refugees can also become a permanent residents through the Government Assisted Refugee Program or the private sponsorship of refugees program.
How to become a permanent resident of Canada?
There are many different ways that one can qualify themselves and their family for Canadian permanent residency. There are over 60 categories of Canadian immigration. The best way is to get your qualification assessed by a Canada immigration expert.
How to immigrate to Canada?
A number of immigration programs are available that lead to permanent residency. First one, Express Entry. This is the most popular way to immigrate to Canada due to its quick processing times. The next one, Provincial Nominee Program. This is aimed at individuals who have the skills, education and work experience to contribute to a specific province or territory. The next, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. This program is for skilled foreign workers and international graduates who want to live and work in Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Next one, Startup Visa. Entrepreneurs with the skills to build innovative businesses in Canada, create jobs for Canadians and compete on a global scale can apply for a visa. The next one, Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. This is a community-driven program designed to spread the benefits of economic migration to smaller communities by creating a path to permanent residence for skilled foreign workers who want to live and work in a participating community. Family sponsorship. Family sponsorship provides a route for spouses, partners, children, parents, grandparents, and in certain cases, other relatives to live, work, and study in Canada as PR. The next one, Quebec Selected Skilled Workers Program. This program is for skilled workers who wish to move as a PR and live and work in Quebec. Caregivers. Caregivers can come to Canada to become a PR or work temporarily through the Home Child Care Provided Pilot and Home Supporter Worker Pilot or Live-in Caregiver Program. The next one, Self-Employed. The Self-Employed Persons Program allows individuals with relevant experience in cultural activities or athletics to immigrate to Canada permanently as a self-employed person. And Agri-Food Pilot. This program helps address the labor needs of the Canadian agri-food sector and can be a pathway to the PR.
How to immigrate to Canada with family?
Your family may be able to immigrate with you to Canada if they are processed for the PR as your dependents. This includes spouse or common law partner, dependent child, your spouse or common law partner's dependent child, or dependent child of a dependent child. Then, meet basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing of your family member. Be able to support the family member financially for a period of time. Not be receiving social assistance for reasons other than a disability. You can also sponsor eligible family members to the Family Sponsorship Program. This allows family members to live, work, and study in Canada. As a sponsor, you need to prove your will.
What are the benefits of becoming a Canada permanent resident?
Benefits of becoming a Canada PR resident are: first one, receive almost all social benefits including Canadian health. Next one, live, work and study in Canadian province or territory. Next one, can apply for Canadian citizenship. And the last one, get rights and freedoms.
Should the applicant be employed in the same occupation that was in the past?
There is no requirement for an applicant to become employed in Canada in an occupation that is consistent with past employment experience.
How do I get Canadian citizenship?
In order to be eligible for a Canadian citizenship, you must be a permanent resident, file your taxes for at least 3 years, and pass a citizenship test. There are several steps involved in applying for Canadian citizenship. First one, calculate your physical presence in Canada. You must have been physically present in Canada for at least 1,095 days, that is for 3 years. Next one, download and fill out an application package. It says, be sure to fill out the form correctly, include 2 certified citizenship photos and all supporting documents such as immigration documents, proof of language, photo ID, etc. Next one, pay the application fees. The fee for each adult citizenship application are $630 Canadian and each minor application less than 18 years old is $100 Canadian. Next one, submit your application. That is, send your completed application package by mail or courier as soon as possible. Next one, take a citizenship test. Once your application has been reviewed, you may be invited to take a citizenship test within weeks after your acknowledgement of receipt, that is AOR letter. The citizenship test is based on the official citizenship study guide, that is the Discover Canada. The rights and responsibilities of citizenship. You can take the test in English or in French. Next one, attend an interview. Immediately after your test, a citizen official will meet you and check your language skills, verify your application and original documents, and ask questions they may have. Last one, take the oath of citizenship. The citizenship ceremony is a final step becoming a Canadian and usually takes place within 3 months after your test. Prove your language skills in English or in French and not having a criminal record.
Who can apply for Canadian citizenship?
First one, in order to apply for Canadian citizenship, candidate must be at least 18 years of age. Next one, in order to apply for child under 18 years, the child's parent or legal guardian can apply on behalf of the child. The child must be a PR of Canada but is not required to have lived in Canada for 3 years. The last one, for child under 18 years, one parent should be a Canadian citizen or is applying to becoming a citizen.
What are the requirements for citizenship in Canada?
The elements to become a Canadian permanent resident vary depending on the stream through which you are accepted. To apply for citizenship, you must have permanent resident status. You must remain in Canada for 2 or 5 years.
How is the interview conducted for Canada immigration?
Interview is conducted to ensure the accuracy of the information contained in the documentation submitted to clarify issues relating A. To confirm an applicant possesses the necessary means to settle in Canada. B. To verify the absence of security inadmissibility. C. To ensure applicant is intending to enter the Canadian labour market. And D. To verify whether there are sufficient grounds to exercise positive, applicants are advised to bring to the interview all original documentation supporting the application, certificates of non-criminal conviction, evidence of settlement funds.
What is an express entry profile?
The Express Entry program is one of the most sought after and popular ways to immigrate to Canada. Express Entry is an online immigration application system that allows prospective newcomers to be considered as a skilled immigrant. An Express Entry profile will determine your ranking and can be used to apply for. The next one, Federal Skilled Worker FSW program. This program is for applicants with significant foreign work experience and or a high-level education who want to immigrate to Canada permanently. Next one, Federal Skilled Trades FST program. This program is for skilled tradespeople who want to immigrate to Canada. Next one, Canadian Experience Class. This program is for foreign nationals who have been working in Canada for a period of at least 1 year to apply for the permanent residence.
How do I create an express entry profile?
In order to create an Express Entry profile, you'll first need to create an Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, that is IRCC account, then submit your profile to formally enter the Express Entry pool of candidates. To create your profile, you will need National Occupational Classification, that is the NOC number. This is a system the Canadian government uses to classify various jobs and occupations. Next one, Education Credential Assessment ECA. This report verifies that your foreign degree, diploma, certificate or other credentials are valid and equal to a Canadian one. Next one, Approved Language Test. Test results can be for either English or French. This test evaluates your language skills in speaking, reading, listening and writing as well.
How do I calculate points for express entry?
The Government of Canada has an online tool that will help to calculate your Comprehensive Ranking System score, that is a CRS score. CRS is a point-based system Canadian immigration uses to assess and rank your profile in the Express Entry pool. Some factors the tool assesses are skills, education, language, work experience, etc.
How do I check eligibility for express entry? How do I work in Canada?
Foreign nationals will need a work permit to be allowed to work in Canada. However, sometimes you may be eligible to work in Canada without a work permit too. There are two types of work permits. First one, open work permit. This allows you to work for any employer in Canada and you can only get an open work permit in specific situations. Next one, Employer-specific work permit, also called a closed work permit, specifies the name of the employer you can work for, location, and for how long you can work for.
How do I find a job in Canada?
Get job ready by preparing a Canadian-style resume and cover letter ahead of time. Remember that most Canadian employers will want to know if you are legally allowed to work in Canada. This often translates to being a permanent resident, having a work permit, being an international student who is allowed to work in Canada, being the spouse of an international student, or being a Canadian citizen. Search job websites. This is a good starting point for many job opportunities. Popular sites include the Canadian government's job bank, LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed, Monster, and Workopolis. Network and volunteer. As many as 65 to 85% of jobs are posted online. Networking or volunteering is one of the ways to tap into Canada's hidden job market. LinkedIn is an excellent tool to connect with your other people in your industry. Look for a mentor. A mentor can provide advice and coaching on the local job market, grow your professional network, and help find career opportunities. Immigrant serving organizations. Government-funded organizations such as ACCAS Employment and COSTI can help newcomers find employment. Many of these organizations also organize job fairs. Next one. Contact employment agencies and recruiters. Specialized employment agencies and recruiters can help you to find a job in your field. Search for recruiters on LinkedIn or through a web search. Some of the top employment agencies in Canada include Robert Half, Randstad Canada, and Hayes Canada.
How much does it cost to move to Canada?
The cost of moving to Canada will depend on whether you are applying for express entry, a study permit, provincial nominee program, or working holiday visa. First of all, express entry and PNP. An individual applicant needs approximately 15,000 Canadian dollar to immigrate to Canada. Couples would need around 20,000 Canadian dollar, while families with children will require between 24,000 to 30,000 Canadian dollar. These amounts include everything from language tests to biometrics to PR fees to a police certificate. Next one, the study permit. You must be accepted into a Canadian designated learning institution in order to apply for a study permit. The cost is approximately 12,985 Canadian dollar, excluding the tuition fees. International students should also factor in between $19,250 and $32,020 Canadian dollar per tuition year. Working holiday visa. And in case of this visa, youth from over 30 countries can apply to live and work in Canada. More details about this program are available on the government website. And the average cost is approximately 3,350 Canadian dollar.
What's IELTS?
The International English Language Testing System, IELTS, is one of two accepted language proficiency tests in English and the world's most popular test. It is designed to demonstrate a newcomer's proficiency in the English language and is one of the most widely accepted language tests for the Canadian newcomers. There are two forms of tests available. First one, the General Training Test. This test is necessary for express entry into Canada and other immigration needs as determined by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, that is the IRCC. It tests for everyday language skills to help determine if someone can effectively communicate and work in an English-speaking country. The next one, the academic test. This test is designed to prove English proficiency for students who wish to enter post-secondary studies in Canada. The academic test determines if a person can successfully study at an English-speaking university, and post-secondary admittance may be conditional on achieving a high score.
How do I prepare for IELTS?
The best way to prepare for the IELTS is to familiarize yourself with the test format, questions, and tasks for each section. Once you have done this, you can practice writing, reading, listening, and speaking in English. Depending on why you are moving to Canada, newcomers can also practice answering sample test questions for both the IELTS academic and IELTS general training test.
What is CELPIP?
The Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program, CELPIP, is the name of the other accepted English language test for Canadian immigration. The CELPIP General will test your listening, reading, writing, and speaking skills in English. This test is officially designated for permanent residence applications by IRCC. The difference between IELTS and CELPIP is that CELPIP is computer-based only, making it a good choice for newcomers who are comfortable with computers and proficient typing. The test also gives you access to a timer, word counter, and spell check tool. Another benefit is CELPIP uses Canadian accents for the speaking and listening portion of the test, unlike the IELTS, which uses English-speaking accents from other countries including Australia and New Zealand.
How do I calculate language points for Canada immigration?
Language points are based on your ability to communicate in one or both of Canada's official languages. Points are based on your ability to read, write, listen, and speak in both languages. Canada immigration requires you to take an approved language test to prove your language levels. The approved tests are the Canadian Language Benchmark (CLB) for English and Niveau des Compétences Linguistiques Canadiens, that is NCLC for French. Newcomers who speak English and French can earn up to a maximum of 28 points. If you only speak one of Canada's official languages, you can still earn a maximum of 24 points. To qualify, you must score a level of CLB 9 or NCLC 9 in all 4 language areas. To earn 28 points, you must also meet the minimum level of CLB 5 or NCLC 5 in all 4 language areas.
How do I study in Canada?
Canada provides the opportunity to gain a world-class education in a multicultural setting, making it a rewarding decision. To study in Canada as an international student, you need to apply for a study permit. Enroll at a designated learning institution (DLI). Get your documents ready, including proof of acceptance, proof of identity, and proof of financial support. Apply for a student permit online via mail. Prepare for arrival once your student permit has been approved. You will need to have the following documents then: passport and travel documents, including a letter of introduction, valid 8 years or temporary student visa, valid letter of acceptance from a school, proof of funds to support yourself in Canada, any other letters of reference, proof of leaving Canada at the end of your stay as well.
Are there different Canadian visas and programs?
There are over 60 different visa and programs offered by Canada that vary in the qualifications needed to apply. There are a few different Canadian visas that our team specializes in. First one, Express Entry, the new Canadian immigration system which is designed to select skilled workers for immigration to Canada. It includes the following programs: Federal Skilled Worker Visa (FSW), the most sought out program as the Canadian government is hoping to attract qualified foreign workers. Second one, Federal Skilled Trades Program, a program for those who want to become a permanent resident based on being qualified in a skilled trade. And third one, Canadian Experience Plus Visa, temporary workers or students of foreign nationality who have lived and worked in Canada for some time, who have a good understanding of English or French, who have the required occupational skills and knowledge of Canadian society, may apply for a permanent resident visa through this program. Next program is the Provincial Nominee Program, to promote workers in required occupation across all the Canadian provinces in Canada. The next one, Student Visa, which allows you to legally study and work in Canada and in some cases to be able to stay and work for up to 3 additional years after graduation. And the next one, Quebec Skilled Workers Program, conducted through the Quebec province, hoping to attract as many qualified foreign workers. Quebec Entrepreneur Program. This visa allows you to establish your own business in the province of Quebec. And the last one is a caregiver visa. Through this visa, you can be sponsored as a live-in caregiver.
How long is the process?
Applying for a visa can take time. Once all the required documents, forms and applications have been submitted, it usually takes up to 18 months for the completion of the process, and in some cases even more. You should always be aware of the differences between the types of visas. The specific Canadian Immigration Office that you process your application, that is, processing time can vary between offices across Canada, and other factors that can greatly affect the process. You should also be aware that the processing time can only be estimated and can change without further notice under the sole discretion of the Canadian government. Express entry is the exception to the above, as the Canadian government aims to process applications much faster with processing times from start to finish within 6 months.
What is a skilled worker in Canada? And how many skilled workers are accepted in each year?
A skilled worker is any person who has a special skills, training, qualifications and experience in a certain trade. The Canadian government uses the National Occupation Classification (NOC) to categorize skilled job positions for immigration purposes. Skilled jobs are divided into three types: O, A and B. Skill type O. It includes the management jobs, for example, restaurant managers, mine managers, advertising, marketing and public relation managers, financial managers. The skill level A. It includes professional jobs that usually require a degree like doctors, architects, investment dealers and brokers, human resource professionals. Skill level B. It includes technical jobs and skilled trades that usually require a diploma or apprentice training, for example, chefs, electricians, medical administrative assistant, sport and fitness instructors. In 2016, the Economic Immigration Program accepted approximately 160,600 skilled foreign workers into the country. Canada has a growing economy that is seeking to attract a strong workforce who will succeed in the labor market. This is why they accept so many skilled workers each year.
What is the work experience requirement under the skilled workers class?
For this, first of all, possess at least 1 year of applicable full-time experience in one of 50 major high-demand occupations like health, skilled trades and finance. Or possess an approved offer of employment, arranged employment. Or be legally living in Canada for a minimum of a year as a temporary foreign worker and have received a permanent full-time employment offer from current employer. Or be enrolled in good standing in Canadian PhD program and have completed at least 2 years of the program or graduated within the 12 months preceding the application. Or at least 1 year of experience within the past 10 years is one of the occupation lists in either skill type O or skill type A or B of the NOC is a necessary preliminary requisite to qualifying for permanent resident status.
How long does it take to obtain a PR visa under the Federal Skilled Worker class?
Federal skilled worker applications should resume a selection decision within 6 to 12 months from submission. Depending upon the time of year, the immigration program and the office in the question and other factors, the processing time for an application for PR filed under the economic class can vary from between 12 months and 14 months. This is the time generally needed to demonstrate compliance under one of the applicable categories: a clean bill of health for the applicant and accompanying dependent, sufficient assets to successfully establish their family in Canada, and a confirmation of no criminal inadmissibility for the applicant and the average accompanying dependents.
Must a person reside in Canada in order to maintain a permanent resident status?
Permanent resident status is maintained if a person is physically resident in Canada for at least 2 years within any period of 5 years, or if other circumstances are met. If not physically present in Canada, permanent resident status can be maintained while abroad, where the Canadian resident is abroad a Canadian citizen, spouse, or parent with a Canadian permanent resident who works for a Canadian employer. It is sufficient for a permanent resident to demonstrate at examination if they have been a permanent resident for less than 5 years that they can potentially meet the 730-day residency obligation in respect of the 5-year period immediately after their arrival in Canada.
Can I apply to the provincial nominee program using express entry?
Yes, you can apply to the provincial nominee program using express entry. Firstly, create an express entry profile. Then, there are 2 ways to apply for a provincial nomination under express entry. First one, you can contact the province or territory directly and apply for a nomination under the express entry system. Next one, if the province accepts and agrees to nominate you, you can update your express entry profile to show you have been nominated. If you get a nomination through your account, you can accept it online. You can contact the province or territory directly and apply for a nomination under the express entry system. If you receive a notification of interest on your account, it means that a province or territory has been known of your profile. You can then contact them directly. If you are nominated, you will receive approval through your account, which you can accept online.
When do I need to have my credentials assessed?
You will need your credential assessed if you are planning to immigrate using the Federal Skilled Worker Program, study in Canada, and work in Canada in certain types of trades professions. Your credentials will be assessed in the following categories: work experience, credentials, and education.
What are the current chances of employment in Canada?
Employers in the Canadian healthcare, engineering, financial service sectors, construction and skilled trades, machining and heavy equipment providers, automotive and agriculture are recruiting qualified individuals who are lawfully permitted to take up employment in Canada on a temporary or permanent basis. Many of these firms are currently advertising available positions in Canada's leading newspaper, trade journals, internet, etc.
What is Canadian study permit?
A study permit is an official document issued by the Canadian government which allows foreign nationals to study in Canada at designated learning institutions. A study permit counts as a non-resident visa, which means that you should remain enrolled at the designated learning institution. You may extend your visa according to your study requirements, and you must respect the conditions listed on your study permit.
What is the most suitable immigration program for me?
In order to answer this question, we have to know more about you and evaluate your specific case, as there are a variety of visas and programs available for immigration to Canada. Depending on your specific details and requirements, our experienced regulated Canadian immigration consultants, RCIC, will evaluate your profile during the initial assessment process and will recommend the best immigration route suited for you and for your family. Upon completion of the assessment, the RCIC will assist you with the preparation and submission of the required applications for your immigration to Canada.
Which are the top Canadian universities for international students?
CanadianVisa.org is the affiliate with some of top universities in Canada. Our RCICs are in good standing with the Canadian universities to help you assist you as an international student. These universities include the British Columbia Institute of Technology, Fairleigh-Dickinson University, University of British Columbia, Vancouver Film School, Simon Fraser University, MGill University, and Montreal University as well.
How to apply for study permit in Canada?
Before you can apply for a study permit, you first need an acceptance letter from a designated learning institution in Canada, a valid passport, a form of proof that you have enough funds to pay your tuition fees, living expenses, and enough funds to return home after you have completed your course, a good health report, a clear criminal record that is a no criminal background, a form of proof given to the immigration officer upon your arrival in Canada that you will leave Canada at the end of your studies.